Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and man, it's been a little while since I've streamed. I forgot to put the timer, so there's that. And then I had my mic unmuted. Yeah, so rough start, but it's gonna be good. You know, I've been practicing my music though, so that should be all right. But appreciate you guys showing up. Stan, Pablo, good to have you in the chat. Pablo and I were just chatting on Instagram, and I was like, hey man, I got to get going. I'm going live soon. So Pablo, Stan, I sent both of you guys a little sneak peek of the logos we were working on, and I appreciate your feedback. Pretty much I wanted to take into consideration what you said, but again, you know, it's not fair for me to make Amanda just keep making logos and stuff. Like, I have to settle on something, and so I wanted to find something that I liked, but that you guys were like, okay, that's cool too. So both of you actually agreed on the same thing. I sent you both a message, and you both agreed on the that new cue with the black cane in it. And again, the thing to keep in mind, that's not necessarily the final logo, because we might get some color, or we probably will get some color involved in there too. She sort of explained the process to me. You got to start with like just a black and white text first, because the better that looks, the better it translates in other forms. And so, but we'll get color in there. We might make a few adjustments. Like, I have a few other ideas, but I'm not going to dump them on you right now. But the main thing was, like, for her, I just needed to give her like some direction, you know, like, yes, this is good, let's go this route. So I appreciate your feedback, guys. I thought that one looked pretty cool too. So I'm glad that we're all kind of on the same page. But anyway, we should be back to streaming pretty regularly. Glad you guys could show up. I'm going to play a song for you in a moment here. We weren't able to stream last week because I'm using the church to do my live streams, and we actually had vacation Bible school during church. So, like, if I was in here like playing songs, they were going to be just in the other room, you know, doing games and singing songs and making all kinds of noise and stuff, and they'd hear me screaming over here. Well, actually, it also kind of worked out because I was dealing with some sickness last week, so I really wasn't in shape to put on a show. Like, I was just going to do instrumentals, but I'm feeling better now. But I am having to get back into vocal shape, so we'll see how that goes. You know, hopefully my singing will be okay tonight. I've been practicing guitar though, so I've been feeling pretty good on that. But speaking of vocals, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about who are some of your favorite singers, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, I'll go ahead and play a song for you. And first, let me ask you, you know, how are you guys doing? What you been up to? Have you watched anything good lately? Have you been listening to any music lately? What you been listening to? You been playing any video games? What have you guys been up to? Let me know in the chat there. I'm going to go ahead and play a song for you. This one's called Say That It's Over.
Your smile so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Your face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you. but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Don't drift your eyes. Just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in. You have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please won't you let me back inside?
Like hell. That's funny. I wish, yeah, progressive metal vacations. Yeah, that'd be awesome. They're like, man, they really was not expecting that kind of music at Vacation Bible School, you know. But you know, who knows? Yeah, part of me wondered, like, maybe they'd like me to play some songs back here. But like I said, I was kind of dealing with some sickness anyway. But that's pretty funny. We'll have to make that a thing. Progressive metal Bible school. So. I'm trying to think if I think that song's pretty much the same, unless you picked up on the part where the band kind of cuts out and it's just me. And say that it's over. Tell me the truth. That little part there, I did add some rides in there because it was such a long pause without any reference, so it's like really hard to stay on time. So I added a little ding, 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 little ride there just to kind of give me like a midway point just to make sure I was still on time, because it's really hard to come in on that, if only you'll let me back inside. It's really hard to come in on that like right on beat when the backing track, you know, you can't hear the timing in it and stuff. So again, I do play with a backing track, but I don't have a click track. So I have to do little tricks like that to kind of help me stay on time. But I actually prefer it that way. I'm not sure that I'd want to play with a click track. Maybe sometime in the distant future, but right now, no thank you. But thanks, guys. I'm glad you're appreciating it. So, yeah, let me see something. Stan, you had chatted a little earlier. I think you were sharing some of the stuff you've been watching and listening to. Let's have a look real quick. So I'm trying to think, what is Ghost Hunters? So you've been playing Madden, and I know you've been listening to We the Kingdom. So is Ghost Hunters a TV show or something? It sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard of Ghost Hunters, but I can't picture what that is right now. Yeah, I've heard of Haken. I'll have to check them out again. I haven't listened to them in a while, but I remember them being pretty cool. But yes, I'm familiar with Haken. That's really cool. Yeah, you're kind of reminding me. I might have to check out some of their stuff again. I myself, I've been listening to a lot of Extol lately, and actually, there's some music that I hadn't heard by Extol. I don't know what it was. I was looking them up and kind of seeing like what other albums they put out, and like I have a lot of their music, but there were a few things that I hadn't heard, so I just kind of searched through YouTube and added it to. I've got a playlist on YouTube called Music to Check Out, so I just looked up all those songs, added them to that playlist, and I've been listening to a lot of that. So you know me, I love that band. I probably always say that. I'm like, I've been listening to a lot of Extol lately. I promise that's not the only thing I listen to, but I do listen to a lot of Extol. Been listening to a lot of Flyleaf also. They're a favorite of mine, and I don't know, I don't get sick of their music, so. I don't know if I've checked out anything new. I'm trying to think. There might be like one band. Actually, I have been checking out Korn lately. I saw this video, and I think Korn was very, what's the word? Just very influential to the metal scene and nu metal and that kind of thing. And they have like a couple songs I like, and I can definitely like respect what they've done. But some of their music's a little... maybe just a bit redundant. Like there's obviously a style there, but I can't say too much of it attracts me, and some of their lyrics can be a little too dark or a little too just not really the kind of tone that I want to get from music and stuff. So again, musically, there's a lot that I can respect about the band. But I can't say, like, I listen to them regularly. I was mainly just listening to them just to kind of check them out and sort of see, like, what the deal is with Korn, And I've checked them out on more than one occasion, but this was the first time I've, like, listened to their albums through and stuff. So that's always kind of a neat experiment to just kind of listen to a really big popular band, just to listen to their discography and kind of get an idea, like, what they're about and stuff. But let's see. No way, really? Is that how it's spelled? Like Hrada? I don't know how you pronounce that. Hrada? I hadn't even heard of that, but I'll have to check that out. But you're right, Extol might be the greatest band ever. Now, you're familiar with Fleshkiller, right? Because Fleshkiller was another project. So the main guitarist in Extol is Ola Barad, or Barad, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. And he has some solo stuff. I don't know if you checked that out. His solo stuff's really good too. It's not metal, but it's really good, like kind of rock, like fusion rock kind of stuff. And then he did a project with some other guys called Fleshkiller, and that band is pretty similar to Extol. I wouldn't say I like it as much as Extol, but what they put out was like really good. So that's a cool one. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure if I've checked that out yet. And then Stan, that's right. I think Ghost Hunters is a TV show, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, so that sounds like a fun watch. Well, that's cool. I appreciate the suggestion. So, I'll definitely have to check it out. Let's see here. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And then as far as like watching and playing stuff, for watching, I recently watched Blade Runner 2049, and it was pretty good. It's a really well-made movie. It's like, for me, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I do love filmmaking. Like that was another career that I was wanting to pursue, and I still hope to be like a filmmaker someday, but I want to do music first. So I want to get a good foothold in my music career, and then hopefully later I can branch out and make movies too. Now the nice thing is, in my music career, by making music videos, that's sort of a way for me to scratch that filmmaker itch. I can still be a filmmaker and make movies for my music in the form of a music video. But anyway, main point being, so I have an appreciation for movies, like I don't just watch movies as a consumer, just kind of like either I liked it or didn't, like I can kind of appreciate certain stylistic choices or direction or whatever it might be. So one of the biggest highlights of Blade Runner 2049 is really good cinematography. I don't know if you guys know who Roger Deakins is, but he's like one of the best cinematographers. So the visuals in the movie are great. Really my only, like my biggest criticism, or my only real criticism, it's just a little slower paced than I like. And some people like that. Some people say, it's supposed to be like that. But for me, like I personally, I think some of the shots could have been cut a little shorter. Like they didn't have to be held so long. It just could have had a little more, I kind of like a little more urgency or a little more energy in my movies and stuff. So when they're a little more slow paced, I understand that sometimes that's intentional, but I can't say that I always enjoy that. But it was pretty good. I think I liked it better than the original Blade Runner, although I would like to rewatch the original Blade Runner. There's actually a Final Cut version of that I don't think I've seen it yet. So I think I'm going to watch that pretty soon and see, like just going into it, like kind of knowing what to expect. I want to see if that maybe changes my perspective and maybe I'll enjoy that movie. But not bad. It was a good watch. I wouldn't say it's like one that I'd be quick to rewatch. Maybe in time I would rewatch it, but it's one of those movies like I can really appreciate it. Like I'd give it like an 8 out of 10, maybe even higher. But that's more so like a grade on how I think the movie was made, not so much like my personal preference. My personal preference, I'm not sure if I would be quick to rewatch it. But. All right, good. Yeah, glad you're aware of Ola Barud and Flesh Killer and all that. And do you mean the last Flesh Killer album or the last Ola Barud album? Because to my knowledge, Flesh Killer only had one album that they put out. So I don't know if they put out another one. If they did, I'll have to check that out. And I'm trying to think. I know I had seen some stuff from Ola, but I can't remember if he put out an album fairly recently or not. So, but either way, I might just have to revisit both of those. Actually hadn't seen Dune yet, but you're definitely not wrong there. Dune was directed by the same guy who did Blade Runner 2049, so that's probably that's probably why the visuals are so great. I don't know if Roger Deakins did the cinematography. I'd have to look that up, but I know just from like the trailers and stuff. Dune looked like a visual feast, looked like it had some good stuff. Haven't seen the movie yet. I do intend to watch it at some point. But we'll see. But yeah, same director. And then as far as playing goes, I'm currently playing through Resident Evil 7 again. I've played it before, but I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I decided to take a little break from that, and just wanted to play something a little more narrative. And survival horror is one of my favorite video game genres. It's just really exciting, and that's a really intense game. I've only played it once before, and so this is my second time playing it through, and I love it. It's fun. Okay, so you kind of agree with me. Yeah, the last Blade Runner, it is pretty slow paced, and yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like I just I like excitement, I like adventure, So some people, they like that kind of slow, atmospheric kind of vibe, whether it's a movie or music or whatever it might be. But for me, I like, I want to go on an exciting adventure. So, and especially it kind of has like a little bit of a like detective noir vibe to it. But if it were just a little more speedy, like let's solve this case, But to each their own. So, but again, like I said, yeah. So even though it's a little slow for my liking, but again, the visuals, and there's a lot to appreciate about it. I'm trying to think. What am I hooked on, Stan? I'm trying to think what you were referring to. Hooked on. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what you're referring to with that. I'm sure I'm hooked on something. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that's what I've been up to. In a moment here, we're going to talk about vocals. Let me just see something real quick. Cool. That's good to know. Yeah, I heard Dune. I've kind of heard mixed things about Dune. I feel like from a maybe artistic point of view, there's a lot to appreciate about it. But again, for maybe just the popcorn fan, someone who just wants to sit and like watch a good movie, yeah, it might be a little slow. But again, I'll have to watch it for myself to see how I feel about it. The only other concern I have with Dune, I know the story is incomplete. So like, I think there's a part 2 that's supposed to come out, so hopefully they end on a good note because. I can maybe forgive part 1 if the story feels complete by part 2, but part 1 on its own might feel a little lacking, so, but we'll see. I'll definitely watch it at some point. But one thing I was wanting to talk about this evening, and hopefully we'll have a few more people show up, but I thought we would talk about vocalists today. And Pablo and we were just mentioning Ola Barud. I don't know if I'd say he's like a favorite vocalist of mine, but I think he has a fantastic singing voice. He's definitely a good vocalist. But what about you guys? Who are some of your favorite vocalists? And it could be in any genre. It can be, obviously metal is kind of the go-to, but, rock, pop, country if you want, R&B, whatever it might be. I'd be curious to hear who are some of your favorite vocalists. And maybe in a little bit, maybe we'll try to do a vocalist bracket. But I'd be curious to hear who some of your favorites are. Resident Evil. Yep, I am hooked. I love that game. So Pablo, when we say hooked, you know how like when you go fishing and you use a hook to capture a fish. So I guess hook would be kind of slang in English or for us. When we say you're hooked on something, it's like something's got you. Like, you can't get enough of it or something. Like, you're hooked on it. So the same way a fish might be caught on a hook, I'm caught on Resident Evil. It's like, oh, I love this game. I can't play enough of it. I'm always playing it. It's like, that would be the idea of hooked. Or I'm hooked on Extol, Like, I'm just always listening to their music and stuff. So that's kind of what hooked means. I might have seen that clip. I can't remember, but I'll have to look that up. See if maybe there's a YouTube clip of that or something, but of him competing. But part of me that sounds kind of familiar with you mentioning that. I almost feel like maybe I'd seen that. Did you see? He did like some kind of little EP. Like it was a collaboration with another YouTube channel fairly recently, and they did cover songs. I can't remember what the band was. Trying to remember, but they sounded really good. I might actually be able to find it real quick. 1 second. Yep, James Hetfield from Metallica is a good metal vocalist for sure. Okay, they were doing cover songs of a band called Pages. At least I think that's what the band was called, Pages. And like a couple of my favorite songs that they did was called Cessation and Automatic. I really liked those songs, but yeah, that was a pretty cool little project that they did. That's not a bad idea, Pablo. I don't know how to. I guess I should have had some video prepared of some singers or something and reacting to them, but I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's some way I could search them up and stream it. I don't know. I'd have to figure that. Maybe we'll experiment with that. I'm not sure. In the meantime, why don't you guys share some of your favorite singers with me? I'm going to play another song for you, and. Ironically, this song doesn't have any singing. This is an instrumental, so I'm going to play an instrumental, and then I'm going to share with you some of my favorite singers. So here we go. Progressive metal guy reacts to weird singers. Long L. Good name for a song too. There was kind of a trend for a while with it was kind of a lot of like emo screamo bands where their song titles were like sentences, you know, like I'm trying to, of course I'm going to forget all of them, but like Hey Dave, what's your name again? I think that's what one was called, or what's another one? Hold on, I'll look them up. It was from The Devil Wears Prada, Hey John, what's your name again? And then there's like Goats on a Boat. Let's see. You Can't Spell Crap Without C. Don't Dink and Drance. Disguising Mistakes with Goodbyes. Drawing a blank on others, but you know, but yeah, there were a lot of like emo bands that kind of had like these long, like their title was like a sentence, you know. Yep. Well, I think Stacy's Mom is kind of just a regular title, unless you were trying to say that you like the vocalist. Robert Plant. Yep, Robert Plant is a pretty good one. Haley Williams is a great, you know, pop rock vocalist. Hayley Williams from Paramore, which of course Paramore unfortunately isn't around anymore. I think Hayley's doing some solo stuff. You know what kind of, this might be a side tangent, but one thing that kind of bugs me. So I hate when, I mean, hate might be a strong word, but to me, it bugs me when a band like Paramore, like, yes, they have a standout star in Hayley. Like, Hayley is a great front woman. She's got a great voice. You know, she checks all the boxes, you know, like she sounds good. She's got good charisma. She looks good. It's like, you know, a great front woman. But she doesn't write the music, you know? And so a lot of times what the label wants to do is they want to take her and make her a solo artist, but then the music's completely different. And it's like, no, you took away the guys who were writing like the cool music for her to sing, you know? And it was kind of the same thing with Flyleaf a little bit. No, Flyleaf was different because Flyleaf, Lacey was getting married and having a child, and she wanted to kind of step aside from the music industry. And then when she got back into it, she's got a solo career, and it's not bad. She's another great vocalist, Lacey Sturm from Flyleaf. But once again, you know, I like Flyleaf's music a lot better than Lacey's solo stuff. And I think it's because even though Lacey is an amazing front woman, you know, she wasn't the one writing the music, you know. And now for her new stuff, if they got the same people to write the music for her solo stuff, like, it would probably still be really good. But, you know, so it kind of stinks when that happens. It stinks when, like, there's a good front person, but just because they're a good front person doesn't mean that they're the whole reason for their success, you know. Like, the rest of the band can be really helpful too, especially whoever's writing the music. Like, to me, that's like the really important person. But yeah, so Hayley, Lacey, those are a couple. In metal, we got Howard. All right, so Killswitch Engage has had two great vocalists. Now, I got into Killswitch Engage around the time of Howard Jones, which he was the second vocalist. The original vocalist was, oh my gosh, it's Jesse, but what's his last name? Why am I? Wow, I can't believe I'm forgetting Jesse's last name. No, 1 second. Wow, all right, I'm gonna look it up. The girl who sang with Seether, that was Amy Lee. She was from Evanescence. To my knowledge, I don't think she has a solo project. I think she's still with Evanescence. But yeah, but she's another great vocalist, another great front woman. Jesse Leach, that's who it is. Okay. So Killswitch Engage started with Jesse Leach, and then he was kind of dealing with some personal stuff, so he left the band. So their next vocalist was Howard Jones. Sometime after Howard became their main lead singer, it was on their second album with Howard. That's when I discovered the band and loved them. Howard's a great vocalist. They did a third album with him, and then he ended up leaving the band. But if Howard had to leave the band, I'm glad that the person to replace him was the original vocalist, Jesse. Jesse came back, and Jesse has actually, like, he worked on his technique a lot, and he's an even better vocalist now than he was when he first started the band. So both of those guys are great vocalists, Jesse Leach and Howard Jones. Yep, David Lee Roth is pretty good. You know, I might actually argue. I'll have to listen again, but David Lee Roth is one of those guys where I think he's almost a better front man than he is a singer. Like, don't get me wrong, like he's got a good singing voice, but I think he's very charismatic, and you know, like that almost sort of like he's got a lot of personality to his performance and stuff, and so that almost kind of covers up the fact that he might not be like the standout singer like others and stuff, but I think he's still a very good vocalist. I hadn't heard of, what was it, the Norwegian guy, Jorn Londe. Yeah, I hadn't heard of him. I'll have to look up some of his projects and stuff. And then Tim Lambus, yeah, is a good metal vocalist. Let's see here. Who else we got? What's his face? Phil Collins. Phil Collins. I think he's got a great singing voice. And then two of my favorite vocalists who unfortunately are no longer with us, but Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell is a fantastic vocalist, and he's done a lot of projects. He did some of his solo stuff. He did Audio Slave, and what was the one before that? Soundgarden. But he's one of those artists. Like, I didn't even know I was a fan until after he was gone. But he sings the opening track for the James Bond movie Casino Royale, which is my favorite James Bond movie, and definitely one of, if not my favorite opening track for a James Bond movie. But Chris Cornell, he sings that. And then one of my favorite movies, Collateral. I think I told you guys about that one, but there's a scene in that movie with a song from Audio Slave that has Chris Cornell singing. He's a fantastic vocalist. And then another vocalist who is unfortunately gone is Chester Bennington, the vocalist of Linkin Park. And yeah, he was great. You know, he was just a really powerful vocalist. So yeah, those are some favorites of mine. Not sure I've heard of Alter Bridge. I'll have to look them up. So you're definitely giving me some new stuff to check out. Let's see, who else we got here? I could probably go on and on. I'm probably forgetting some like vocalists of mine that are my favorites. Trying to remember. One like honorable mention. There's a band called Native Construct. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They're like a progressive metal band. They only put out one album, and that was back in 2015. And like I was hoping they would keep going. I don't think they disbanded, but they definitely haven't like released anything. They've definitely been, you know, struggling to put stuff out. But that album is like a masterpiece, you know. And I really like the vocalist in that. He's just got a lot of character. One of my personal favorite vocalists is Pete Loeffler from Chevelle. Like, I love Chevelle as a band, and I just love Pete's voice. I don't know how else to say it, you know. Like, I love like the way he adds grit to his voice. I love just the tone and the character. He's one of my favorite vocalists. Who else we got? So, anyway, yeah. If you got any more, share them. I think I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song here. I will say this: it would be fun to try and do like a brackets with vocalists. But my concern is, first, we need to find some vocalists that we all like, you know, that we all know. So maybe that's the first thing. Maybe that's the first thing. Maybe we can try to vote for, let's see, how many do we need for a bracket? We need at least eight vocalists. So maybe if we can try to find 8 vocalists that we all know and we all agree. That might be tough, but we'll try that out. So let me know who some others are from you guys. I'm going to go ahead and play another song for you. This one I will sing. I will say, all right. So I've been working on my voice as a singer. I definitely was not born like naturally with like a good singing voice. I've had to work very hard just to sing as good as I can. I will say the stuff I've been working on has helped a lot. Like I've gotten a lot more consistent with my singing, and I like my voice a lot better. I don't think my voice alone, like I don't know if anyone would hear my voice and be like, wow, that guy sounds amazing, but I'm just glad that my voice can like keep up with the music, you know? But with all that said, this song that I put out, it's a cover song. It's a cover of a Disney princess song called Into the Unknown. You've heard me do this before, but I will say this song that I released, I do think that might be my best vocal performance ever. So if you want to hear what I think my voice sounds like when it's at its best, look up that track, and I think that's probably my best vocal performance. Now that vocal performance doesn't have any screams in it, so sometimes I can do some pretty good growls. So I'll have to record another song that's got some good growls in it. But as far as like singing, and especially singing with grit, like adding some of that texture, I worked really hard on that song, and I am pretty pleased with the results I was able to get. So don't know if I'll be able to do it here now, but we'll give it a shot. So here we go. This one's called Into the Unknown. I just typed it for you, Pablo. That's the band I was talking about, the progressive metal band. If you like Between the Buried and Me, they're kind of like that, but they're a little more like the whole album is kind of like one continuous like it's almost like listening to a movie, you know? Like if you really want to listen to the whole album, not just like a few songs. I mean, their songs are great on their own, but the way the album flows, there's just like themes that regularly show up throughout the album, and yeah, it's almost like listening to a movie. So it's really cool. But yeah, here we go.
I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day, and you know your whispers, which I wish would go away. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. And everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, and I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Who are you? Someone out there who's a little bit like me, knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be. Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. Whoa. Are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? Whoa. going, don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown?
Oh, yeah. All right, we may continue to discuss our favorite vocalists, and if we can collect enough, we'll try to get a bracket going. But in the meantime, let me update you guys what's been going on. Let's see here. So a few things. First off, I've got my first show coming up, my first live show. It's about a month away, maybe less. It's going to be July 23rd. So I'm making preparations for that. I've pretty much got all the gear I need. I've been handling like some business things, just kind of being ready, like, how to handle certain interactions and when if I make any money, where to kind of distribute it, just being able to manage all that stuff and just being responsible with it. And again, talking with my brand manager. I don't know if the logo is going to be done in time for the show. It's going to be close. If it is done in time and I have enough time, I might try to get some guitar picks made, which, by the way, I would totally send you guys some guitar picks when I get them made. But, yeah, we'll see if that happens or not. If it doesn't happen for the first show, I'm not really too worried about it. This first show is kind of like a test run for me. I am planning to play more live shows after this first one, but this first one is kind of, like just sort of testing the waters a little bit just to see how people respond. Because, again, I am going to be playing with a backing track. But I'm planning to, I'm going to work on my showmanship and see how that goes. So hopefully, I'll see how people respond, kind of see what the vibe is, make sure that my rig works in a live setting. And then, yeah, go from there, take what I learned from that and apply it to the next gig and stuff. But the plan is to start playing gigs more regularly. I'm probably just going to start trying to play at least one live show a month first, and then gradually get that down to, every 2 weeks and then every week. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. What else? So that's the main thing I'm working towards, just trying to get all that stuff kind of settled in place. Let's see. Thanks, Stan. And yep, that's right. We'll see how it goes. And this first show is actually really cool. I'm super excited for it because it's at a skate event. It's not just like a random show. It's actually a skate festival. It's called Skate Nelson. And they're going to have different contests there, like a highest ollie contest. And they're going to have a game of skate, which is kind of like horse, the basketball game, but you play with the word skate. So basically, you do a trick, and your opponent has to do the same trick. And if they can't do the same trick, they get a letter. And if you mess up on your trick, then it's their turn to set the trick, so you have to do their trick. And basically, if you can't do the trick, you get a letter. And if you end up spelling skate, S-K-A-T-E, you lose. So that's a pretty fun game. I think they're going to have a best trick contest and all kinds of stuff. And they'll have food and things like that. So I love skateboarding. So I'm already like, I'd be going to the event anyway, and then getting to play music there. I'm really looking forward to that. So it's going to be exciting. And Stan, I think I've told you already, but I'm planning on you being there. I'm hoping that you can give me a hand with the merch table and that kind of thing. So definitely looking forward to that. That's probably the biggest thing that I've kind of been working towards. And then I might have a new song coming out soon. I'm pretty sure I will, but it's hard to explain. I'm in a little scenario right now where there's a possibility that this song might not be released, but I'm not really sure yet. So I can't really comment on that. But what I can say is this current project that I'm working on, once I'm finished with it, I should be able to release songs more regularly. This one has had some other involvement, and so because of that, it's sort of slowed down my ability to to just release it when I feel like it and stuff. So we'll see. But I would love to. Oh my gosh! I just remembered something. I'm not going to be able to perform it today, but I do have a new song for you guys. I forgot about that. I've got a new backing track made. It's a new song that I haven't released it yet. You know what? Maybe I'll do it. Pablo, you still there? Maybe I'll play this song for you. I do have a new song, and it's one of my favorite songs that I've written. I haven't released it yet, but I do have a backing track so that I can perform it live. I'm actually planning to perform it at the Skate Nelson event. Maybe I'll play it for you guys. I'm not sure yet. Pablo, if you're still out there, maybe I'll play it. I'm not sure. And maybe we'll wait a little longer just in case Daniel shows up. I would definitely love for him to be around. So we'll see. I appreciate that, Stan. And yes, it is a win-win, that's for sure. So that's really all that I've been up to as far as music goes. I'm going to go ahead and play another instrumental for you. And I don't know. I'm sorry to tease that, but I am really excited about it. Like, it's a new song that I've been working on, and I still have to record it, like to release it, but I recorded sort of like a demo version of it so that I could perform it live. So we'll see. That's correct, July 23rd. It should be a Saturday, so that is the day of the event. Can't remember the time of it right now. I think it's, it should be going on for a fairly lengthy time, but I don't even know what time I'll be playing yet. I've been in communication with them, and as I get closer to the event, I'll figure out like, hey, what time am I going to be playing and stuff. But I've been talking to the guys running the festival, and they've got sound guys there and stuff. So I should have enough equipment on my own, but then they should have enough things to get me set up too. So yeah. All right, got another instrumental for you. Here we go. Lego. Hey, Sasha, thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yep, 23, Michael Jordan. That's how you can remember. So if you're trying to remember the date of my first live show, Michael Jordan, 23, there you go. So, Sasha, thanks for joining us. We were talking about our favorite vocalists a little while ago. So I don't know if you have any favorite vocalists. It could be from any genre. Obviously, kind of playing, metal here. So we were sharing some of our favorite metal vocalists, but it could be pop, punk, rock, country, R&B, whatever it might be and stuff. Some of my favorites, I was saying like Hayley Williams, originally from Paramore, Lacey Sturm from Flyleaf. I like Pete Loeffler as a personal favorite of mine from Chevelle. I just love his voice. Phil Collins, it's another good one. Who else? Howard Jones from Killswitch Engage, and Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage as well. That's another good, both of them are great vocalists. Who are some other favorites of mine? See if I can think of anyone else. I don't know if I say he's like an outstanding vocalist, but one vocal, and when I say outstanding, I mean there's some vocalists that just like their voice alone is like just fantastic, but one of my favorite metal vocalists is Josh Middleton, who is a phenomenal guitarist, but obviously he's got a good aggressive tone to his voice, but sometimes he'll sing, and he's actually got a really nice singing voice. I kind of wish he would sing more sometimes because he's got a great singing voice, but I'm trying to think any other bands. Extol, Ola Barud, that kind of thing. Yeah, those are probably like kind of the main ones for me. I'm sure there's more. There's a lot of great vocalists out there, but yeah, if you have any favorite, go ahead and share them. Might be diving into another song here in a moment. Let's see, any more updates? Again, main update is just the live show coming up, my first live show, Michael Jordan on the 23rd. And I'm looking forward to that, playing at a skate event, so it's going to be a lot of fun, having skateboarding and playing some good old music. Interesting. I'm not sure. I'm having to look let me look those guys up real quick. I'll have to see if I recognize any of those vocalists, but I'm trying to see if I know what bands they're from. Right, Phil from Whitechapel. He is a good vocalist, I've been checking out the last couple albums from Whitechapel. I'm still a little new to them. Some of their stuff it's not quite my cup of tea, but their last couple albums I thought were really good. Kin and the other one, I don't know if it's The Valley of something, I can't remember, but it was like their most recent albums. But I understand that he does a little more singing on those, and you're right, his harsh vocals and his singing, he's a really good vocalist. Right, Opeth, Infant, yep. So yeah, those are all great metal vocalists. Let's see, who else from the metal realm? I don't know if you're familiar with Native Construct, but I was sharing earlier that I actually really like the vocalist from Native Construct. Can't remember his name, but I think he's got a good voice, good harsh vocals. Under Oath, I always thought Spencer from Under Oath. Can't remember his last name, but and Aaron. I know their first name. Spencer was the harsh vocals, and Aaron was the clean vocals. I think they sound quite good. Who are some other favorites of mine? What's interesting? All That Remains. Phil used to be and again, I'm drawing a blank on his last name, but I used to really like Phil's voice. His performance in Fall of Ideals, amazing metal vocalist. His screams are awesome, and his singing was really good. But later, just album after album, he kind of got a little more twangy with his voice, and kind of added some kind of distortion to it or grit to it. I don't know. He did something to the tone of his voice that I didn't really care for. It kind of had just kind of some twang to it. But his vocal performance on that original album, that was really good. Who else? If you're familiar with the band Extol, they have a good harsh vocalist and a good clean vocalist with Ola Barud. Yeah, those are a few favorites of mine. Sasha, this is Stan. Stan, thanks for saying hello. I think I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song here. But yeah, if y'all have any other vocalists, let me know. let's see here. This song, let me see which song I'm going to do next. One second. All right, I'm going to try this one. I actually wasn't planning on doing this, but since Sasha showed up, I thought I'd pull out something else. We'll give this one a shot. I'm kind of getting over some cold, so I wasn't planning to do any harsh vocals today. But this one's got a little bit of harsh stuff, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is the one you've all been waiting for. This one's called Waiting.
This is where we are. Where else have we been? Circling this room, round and round again. Look in
Thank you. But yes, other than the live show coming up, let me see. Yeah, hoping to have some new music coming your way soon. Hopefully 2 songs. Might only be 1 song, but hopefully 2 songs are coming pretty soon. Thank you, Sasha. Appreciate that. Let's see. Sasha, tell me a little bit about yourself. You play any instruments? Who are some bands you like? Earlier, I was asking everyone what they've watched lately. You know, have you seen any good movies? Watching any shows? Do you play video games? If so, what you've been playing lately, and what you've been listening to lately? So, yeah, let me know what you've been up to. Yes, for sure. And I actually wasn't planning to do any harsh vocals today, but I pretty much already sang the songs that don't have them and stuff. I don't do them too much, but I do them every now and then. And like I said, yeah, I was kind of getting over some cold, so I kind of been getting back in vocal shape, and I'm doing all right. But I haven't done a whole lot of harsh vocals lately. So when I've practiced, they're a little more solid, you know. But yeah. But I appreciate that. Thank you. But for myself, I was saying earlier. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with Voice Hacks. It's a YouTube channel. Mary Zimmer is her name, and she's a vocal coach who kind of specializes in harsh vocals and stuff. And and she taught a bunch of different techniques. And for me, the easiest one is definitely false chord screams, which I think would be the same technique that you would use for gutturals, but kind of that. It's almost like that frustrated sound, like you know, that kind of sound. And even right now, when I'm doing it, you can hear it. It's kind of it's a little weak right now, just and there's nothing I can really do about that. That's the weird thing about screams. It's like it's not just a technique. Like it's not just, oh, if you do it this way, it's going to sound good. You kind of have to condition your voice for it. So like if I haven't done it in a while, and then I try to do it, like I'm doing it right, but actually those sound better than the first one I did. But you know, like I might be doing it right, but you kind of have to practice and like go through that phase, like get your voice like used to what it is you're trying to accomplish. But then after a while, from that sound, you can get more of that, you know, and kind of get it deeper and more. So when I have been practicing, usually I can get that sounding pretty good. And then where I struggle is the fry screams, like getting the higher stuff. And I kind of have like a way to do like higher screams, but still working on that technique, you know. But the growls, I can usually pull them out when I've been practicing. Usually that's a good one that I've got in my toolkit. Wow, that's awesome. Uh, that was a lot of info. Let me read that again. But that's really cool. So you're in Austria right now. What time is it there? I'm in America, and I'm on the East Coast of America. So it's a little past 7 o'clock p.m. right here. So you know, so it's evening, but it's not super late yet. But Austria, I mean, yeah, I think that's awesome that to have some viewers from you know all over the world and stuff. But that's really cool, man. Yeah, I like Marty Friedman. He's a great guitarist. Yeah, he's a fun one to watch and makes great music. Yeah, 1 in the morning. Are you usually a night owl? Do you typically stay up that late? I used to be a night owl. I kind of have to, let's just say life sort of forced me. I have to get to bed earlier. So I usually try to get to bed around 11. A lot of times I still end up staying up late till 12. But when I was in my teenage years, I used to stay up till 2 and 3 in the morning. You know, that wasn't uncommon for me. So, yeah, dude, that's really cool that you're a blacksmith and a gunsmith. So it sounds like you're like, what kind of stuff do you make? And it sounds like you're learning gunsmithing now. So is that, I mean, I take it you're learning how to make guns and stuff, but have you made anything yet? And is there like a specific kind of weapon? Is it like handguns, rifles, shotguns? You know, that's really interesting. I'd love to hear more about that, but that's a pretty cool line of work. Right on, man. Yeah, I'm glad you glad you have the faceless lessons. Yeah, I hope you get around to them sometime and you can learn them. Faceless songs are a lot of fun to play. And because you said that, I've got another song I'm gonna play for you in just a second here. But yeah, Michael Kane, I love his guitar work and the kind of stuff he plays. I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but yeah. Sounds like you got some interesting stuff. So yes, I want to know about the blacksmith stuff and the gunsmith stuff, but also what kind of guitar do you play, or how many guitars do you have, and what kind of guitars are they? And yeah, that's awesome about the guitars and vocals and stuff. You mentioned the Faceless. I actually love the Faceless. I love their music, and so. I've got a few instrumental tracks. So just so you know a little bit about me, I'm a solo recording artist, and I write songs, I perform them, and for these live streams, I'll perform my songs, but I do have a few instrumentals that are kind of like these unfinished songs. They're almost more like demos, and I have the intent to finish these songs later in the future. But as of right now, they're just kind of like just extra little tracks that I can play for show. But I've got one that was actually inspired by the Faceless. It's just I listened to the Faceless. I love the way it sounded, and so I wanted to write something kind of similar to them. So I'm going to play that for you. So this is an instrumental track, but it is inspired by the Faceless. That's really cool, man. That's fascinating. All right, I'm going to play this track for you. Also, I don't know if you're familiar with the band NYXL, but they have similarities to Faceless. They're another one of my favorites. So yeah, if you like the Faceless, you might like NYXL as well. Like it. Thank you. And dude, that's so cool that you make like swords and knives and stuff. Um, you ever have any involvement with like movie production stuff? You ever make any props for anything like that? 'Cause that'd be really cool. But that's awesome, man. And I don't know if you post your work somewhere. I don't know if you have like an Instagram page or something, and you like kind of post pictures of swords and knives you made. If you do, I'll be sure to check it out. But um, awesome, awesome. That's really cool, and that's funny, Stan. Yep, Stan does have a lot of interests. So yeah, I could see something like blacksmithing just being totally consuming. So so yeah, maybe that's good advice to not take on another hobby. Keep that time for your wife. Cool. Well, awesome, guys. Well, Sasha, again, I appreciate you tuning in. Stan, appreciate you watching. Pablo, I don't know if you're still out there, but I really appreciate you, conversing with you earlier and your support and stuff. I'm going to play one more song for you guys, but I will say, Sasha, just so you know, I try to do these live streams every week. I should be able to. I should be back on schedule. So I usually do these streams every week at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I'm not sure. I'm guessing that would be around 12 o'clock where you're at. So so I know that's kind of late, but that's what time I'll be streaming. If you ever want to tune in, certainly love to have you. My biggest goal right now is building an audience. So in a little bit, I'll post some links, and if you're interested in joining my email list, I can notify you, kind of keep you up whenever I have new streams, whenever I release new music and things like that. If you're interested in checking out some of my music, I do have, I'm on the music that I put out. It's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, Apple Music, even YouTube Music, wherever you like to listen to music. You can check out my releases on those platforms, and usually I'll release some kind of music video or one-man band playthrough video on my YouTube channel here. I'm hoping to have some new music coming out soon. Again, I'm involved in something right now that has sort of put a snag in my schedule, but once that is taken care of, then I should be on a more consistent basis and putting out songs more regularly for you guys. So, but yeah, I always enjoy having new viewers and stuff, and I always enjoy playing songs for you. I got one more song for you guys. I'll play it in a little bit, but yeah, just thought I'd inform you about all of that. And yeah, let's see what's going on here. What is the 11 for? Or are you correcting me? Would it be 11 o'clock in Austria at 6 o'clock? Because I thought he said it was 1 o'clock right now. And since I started about an hour ago, that would mean it would be 12 o'clock there. But either way, I'm not sure what the 11 is for. So are you in South Africa right now, or are you in Austria right now? Or are you saying you had some offers, but you were in South Africa at the time of those offers? Okay, Austria, I see. Yeah. No, and hey, I totally understand. To be honest, like even for myself, I am pursuing a career in music, so that's like my only interest in social media at all is just to to show people what I'm working on, and just to kind of stay on people's radar whenever I'm making music or releasing stuff. If I were just, if I were doing another kind of line of work that didn't need as much eyeballs and stuff, like I probably wouldn't even be on much social media. So definitely, like, you do what you have to. But I do think that's really cool that you make that stuff. So hey, if you ever post that, let me know. I'll be sure to check it out. But certainly, do what you have to do. Don't feel like you've got to post it on my behalf or anything like that. I see. So South Africa at the time, but now you're in Austria. That's cool, man. Sweet. So, well, I'm going to post a link real quick. Well, I'm going to play one more song for you guys, and then I'll have a few links to post for you, and then I think we are going to call that a stream. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, cool. Yeah, and if you're going to post anything, yeah, do so, and I'll be sure to check it out when I get a chance. Let me tune my guitar real quick. I got one more song for you guys. Accidentally hit the wrong thing. So, this is gonna be my last song for the evening. This is a softer song, but hopefully you still like it. This one's called "Love's Not Fair."
Staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away, kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, falling to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I'd take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. So stop beating up myself just foolish pride to think that I could ever hurt myself enough to cover what I've done. I could cut myself dry and it still would never be enough. It makes no sense at all. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. But love isn't fair. In spite of all I am, you chose to die for me, and that isn't fair. But love's not fair. Thank you. Thanks, Stan. I appreciate that. Well, guys, I'm going to hang out and chat just a little bit, but I think that's going to be a wrap on the stream for the songs and stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to support me, there's a link in the description with a virtual tip jar, and I definitely appreciate that. If you don't have the financial means to support me, my biggest goal right now is building an audience, so I'll also have a link for a sign-up page to my email list, and this is helpful to me. I'm able to kind of keep in touch with people who are interested in my music and kind of keep you guys notified and updated on streams and you know, new releases and things like that. Besides that, you know, just remembering to like the video, you know, share it, invite people to come to the streams, subscribing to the YouTube channel, all that stuff, you know, that helps out. So again, I really appreciate you watching. I'll hang out, chat for a little bit. If you've got any questions or anything like that, you know, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm going to post a few links also, and but that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time. Thank you, Sasha. Really appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Again, I try to do it every Thursday, so I think it's 12 o'clock for you. So if you're up that late and you just you want to hang out, you know, have some conversation about music and stuff, and hear a few songs, you know, love to have you again. So glad you enjoyed the stream. Hope to see you again.